Assalamualaikum and hi. Today we are going to present about our group project, which is ALIF Cat Cafe. And in this presentation, we're going to explain about our project purpose summary, objective, analysis, design algorithm, source code and sample of output for this project. This following program is a proposal summary for our assignment, which is ALIF Cat Cafe. In this system, the customer must enter their total number of people and select their preference beverage from our menu, which offers 3 types of beverage, which is milk, tea and coffee. Not to forget, the system asks whether the customer want to add the cat food and asks how much of them to feed those cats in our cafe. Other than that, our program wants to ensure everything is in accordance with what the customer order. We credit this because we are aware that even a tiny mistake could result in serious problems for a cafe. Lastly, we completed this work around 2 weeks because we faced problems such as the errors in coding in order to find the right output. But thankfully, we have completed this program on time. Our objective for this program is to assist the cafe owner in accurately and effectively calculate the transaction of the customer order to prevent errors and losses. Secondly, to create a user-friendly system that will meet client needs. Other than that, to efficiently use and improve technology in everyday operation to verify that the customer's order is right and in accordance with the receipt. And lastly, to prevent long lines at the counter, which will create an uncomfortable environment.
Next, I'm going to explain about our analysis of our project. For the first input, we have hours, which costs 50 ringgit per hours, followed by the following limitation of 3 hours, and a person have to be in between 1 until 6 only. The second input is drinks. Here, we have 3 types of drink and its choices. The main product is milk, tea and coffee. For milk, we have chocolate and normal milk. Next, tea comes with jasmine and Earl Grey tea. And last but not least, coffee with the option of hot and ice. Not to forget, we also have an add-on for our customer to feed the cats, which is our cat food that costs only 2 ringgit per stick. Moving on to the next part, which is the process. We have 3 calculations here. The first one is to calculate the price per person for each hour. The calculation is price equals to hours time person. The second one is to calculate the membership. The calculation would be price 2 equals to price 2 minus the total multiplication between price 2 times member. And last but not least, the calculations on how to determine the total price of our cat food. The calculation would be price 2 equals to price 2 plus the total multiplication between 2 ringgit, which is the price of our cat food per stick, times the number of cat food depends on what customer asks. Lastly is our output. Our project came with 5 output, which is the receipt for transaction, the price for each drink, next the total of price with membership, and the total of price without membership. And last but not least is the finalist total price of the transaction.
Moving on to flowchart. We start off by declaring all the variables, array, and constant by displaying the cafe name and menu. After that, I will go to the first selection, which is if continued loop equals to y. Only the first number selection will always be equals to y. If no, that will end. If yes, I will ask the user to input the number of person. If the number of person is equal or less than 0 or more than 6, I will ask the user to input the correct number of person. If yes, I will ask the user to input the number of hours. Same as before, if no, it will ask the user to input the correct number of hours, and if yes, I will start the calculation for hours and person using a function that we use. After that, it will ask the user if they want to add drinks. If the add drink is not equal to Y, it will skip the calculation for drinks and ask if they want cat food. If the add drink equals to Y, it will ask the user to input a drink of choice. If the input is not equal to A, B or C, it will ask the user to input the correct drink of choice based on the menu. If it is equal, then it will start the calculation for the drink. The prices for each drink are determined by an array that we use. After that, it will ask the user if they want to add more drinks. If add drink is equal to Y, it will loop back and ask what type of drink that they want. If it's not equals, it will ask if the user wants cat food. If cat food is equals to Y, which is yes, it will ask the user to input how many sales of cat food that they wanted and start the calculation for the price of cat food with that input. If it is equals to N, then it will skip the calculation and go to the next selection. If the input is not equals to N or Y, it will display invalid. Lastly, it will ask the user if they have a membership. If membership equals to Y, then it will start the calculation for discount using a function that we created, and it will have a discount of 10% off the finalized price and also display the discount. If it's equals to N, then it will do nothing. If the input is not equals to N or Y, it will display invalid. After that, it will display the finalized price, and if the finalized price is equals or more than 90, it will get a free keychain, and if it's not, it will do nothing. At last, it will ask the user if they want to continue. If continue loop is equals to Y, it will go back to the first selection and do everything again. If it is not equal, then it will display thank you, have a nice day, and end.
Moving on to our pseudocode. We started with the declaration of all of the variables and constants and naming all the particular variable. Then we move to the first sections, which is the if the continue loop equals to Y, it will ask the number of the percents, and if it's N, which is not, it will N. And here we use while loop. If the number of percent is equal to 0 or less than 0 or more than 6, it will ask the user to put the correct number of percent. If yes, it will ask the user to input the number of hours. Same goes with the previous one. If no, it will ask the user to input the correct hours. And if it's yes, it will start to calculate the hours and percent using the function that we state. Next, it will ask the user for drinks. If user enter N, which is no, it will skip the calculation of drinks and proceed to ask whether the user want to add on the cat food. But if it's yes, which is equals to Y, it will ask the user to input the user preferred drinks with the choices given. And if it's not equals to A, B or C, then the user have to input the correct label of the drinks according to the menu given. And if it's meet the condition of A, B and C, it will start the calculation of the drink. The price of the drink was determined by the array that we stated in our program. Next, it will ask the user if they want to add more drink. If it is equals to Y, which is yes, it will loop back to the previous sections. If it's equal to N, which is no, it will output the total price including the drinks and proceed to ask the user to add the cat food or not. Else, it is invalid. Next, if the cat food is equal to Y, which is yes, it will ask how many stick of cat food the user wanted. And the calculation of the cat food start, which is 2 ringgit times the number of cat food depends on the what customer asks. But if it's N, which is no, it will proceed to ask the user for the membership. Else, it is invalid. Next, if the membership is equals to Y, which is yes, it will start the calculation using the functions that we create, and it will have 10% off its finalized price, and it will display the price before the discount first. And if this is N, which is no, it will proceed to output the finalized price, else it is invalid. After that, it will display the finalized price, and if the price is more than or equals to 90, the user will get a free keychain. And if it's not, nothing will happen. Last but not least, it will ask the user whether they want to continue to order. If continue loops equals to Y, then it will return from the start, and if it is N, which is no, it will display thank you, have a nice day. and the program ended.
For the function in this program, we have used two functions. The first one is switch to calculate the price of the tickets. So the price 2 is based on the ticket price times the number of persons. Next, the program will return price 2 and continue to the next step in the program. For the next function, which is to calculate the total price for finalization, the program will enter this function if the user have a membership. The price 2 will deduct 10% of the total price. The program next will return price 2 before finalizing. This is the first sample output. As you can see, the user entered 3 number of person with 3 hours. So the total price will be 135 ringgit as shown in the picture. The user didn't add drinks, cat food, and the user also didn't have membership. Therefore, the finalized price is 135 ringgit. The user also got a free keychain because the finalized total is above 90 ringgit. The next sample output here is when the user chose to continue the process. The user entered 2 number of person with 3 hours, having the total price for 90 ringgit. The user also added drinks and cat food. The user did have a membership, deducting a total of 10% from their total price from 104 ringgit to 92 ringgit and 60 cents. The user did also get a free keychain.
And that's all from us.